What do we actually know about our movements? What do we actually know about everything we do every day? Everything we've done all of our lives, movement related, walking across the floor, walking across the street, running, playing basketball, soccer, volleyball, anything. What do we actually know about what we do? Well, the answer is we know a great deal. But then again, on the other hand, we don't know much at all. What is it that we know? Well, that's kind of self-explanatory until we try to explain it to somebody else. The question, how did you do that? You're so good at that sport, that activity. What is it that you do that makes you so good? What do I need to learn to be able to do half as good as you're doing over there? What's the answer? Typical answer. Well, I'm not really sure what I do, but this is what it feels like to me, and this is what I envision that I'm doing, and this is what I have to do to get ready to do that. And then while I'm doing it, this is how I go about it. But in all that explanation, there's a non-explanation. Everything is very arbitrary, very ambiguous. It doesn't tell you, the questioner, the information you would like to know. They're talking about, this is what it feels like, this is what I have to think about, this is what it seems like, but none of it is, this is what it actually is. This is how I actually do it. And that's the part that is creating so many problems for so many people. That's our paradox. As long as our movements work naturally and easily, we're fine. But as soon as they start to degrade, as soon as we start losing the edge, as soon as those movements don't just happen the way they've always happened throughout our life, that's when we have a problem. That's when nobody seems to know what it is you're actually doing wrong. Why are you doing it wrong? Why are your movements not as good as they used to be? What has changed? What needs to be done to make those movements that aren't working so well to working better, to get them more natural, to make them easier? That's the dilemma that every person goes through that has problems with their movements. And because they don't understand what's going wrong, they don't know how to fix it. But the big problem is, the paradox is, when we don't know what it is we actually do naturally, when it doesn't work anymore, we have no clue what the unnatural movement is, what the problem movement is. So here we go. We have natural movement, which is nice and easy as long as it works. Over here we have the problem movements. Those movements that are starting to become unnatural. They don't work right. There are all kinds of problems with them. So how do we take these problems and get them back over here to what's more natural? Many of you with these problem movements have gone to physical therapists and other movement specialists in an effort to be taught that very thing. How do I stop being so bad? How can I be better? But as hard as those therapists try to help you, most people in this position don't come away with what they thought they would receive, their movements don't get better over the long term. In fact, they continue to get worse. Many people that go to the therapist, things get better for a little while as long as they go and they're keeping up with that schedule of working with that therapist. And then things seem to be getting a little bit better until that person leaves and doesn't go back for a little while. They start to lose everything they gain. Question: why? Why can't they keep what they gained? Anybody know? You have a clue? You have a guess? It's because they didn't know what it was they were gaining. They didn't know how they were doing what they were doing to make things better. And the therapist didn't really know what they were doing to get better. It was kind of a show and tell situation. And that's what a lot of movement instruction is, and always has been. Look at when you were back playing sports or some other related activity when you were younger. It was to kick the ball better, you have to feel this, you have to do this, it looks like this, and you have that follow through. If you want to hit that ball, you need to be in the right position like this. You have to watch that ball, you have to watch the bat hit the ball, all this kind of stuff that you then hear and interpret, and then you go out and try to mimic what the coach has just showed you and told you. You try to get that same posture to gain that same type of feeling. Talk about golf. You're out there, you're trying to relax enough to hit the ball and to be nice and smooth with that swing so you can be consistent. You watch people, you watch the pros, you listen to tips and whatever from all sorts of different sources, and you try to put it together. And ultimately, with every movement we do, ever since we were this high on hands and knees, and then this high, on our little feet, still in diapers, nappies, if you're across the pond, everything we've done, everything we've learned is what it feels like to us. Doesn't matter if we know what it is or not. It's what it feels like to us. Because when it feels correct for the activity that we're doing, then we can relax and we know this is where I'm supposed to be. This is how I do this activity. This is why it works. Because I'm comfortable, everything is adjusted right in my posture, and I'm ready. Okay, gang, that sounds great, and everybody can relate to it, but what is that feeling?